Welcome back to the heart of the story here at Whatever You Need, your sanctuary in the digital storm, where we don't just read the headlines, we dissect the human drama, the whispered truths, and the unspoken emotions behind them. Today, the air is electric with a kind of anticipation we haven't felt in a long time. We're diving into a moment that shattered the calm of an early morning airport, a moment that has set the entire internet ablaze with speculation, hope, and a desperate need to know the truth. It involves a woman who has mastered the art of silence and a man who guards his heart like a fortress. Yes, we are talking about the magnetic, the elusive, the endlessly fascinating pair, Yagmur Yüksel and Barış Baktas. Before we unravel every detail of the bombshell that dropped at the terminal today, I need you to solidify your place in our community of truth seekers. Smash that subscribe button to ensure you never miss a deep dive, and ring the notification bell so you are the first to know when a story like this breaks. And for those of you who believe in storytelling that honors the depth beneath the surface, I implore you to click the join button. Your membership is the lifeblood that allows us to bring you these narratives with the dignity and detail they deserve. Now take a deep breath. We are about to step into the eye of the storm that is Yagmmer and Barış. In the pre-dawn hours, a time when airports are usually a somnolent landscape of weary travelers, muffled goodbyes, and faces hidden behind the anonymity of sunglasses and scarves, a distinct ripple of electricity moved through the terminal. It began as a hush, a collective holding of breath, before erupting into a full-blown storm. Photographers, sensing the arrival of a story that had been simmering for months, clustered like waves crashing against a shore. Flashes stitched lines of blinding white heat across the polished floor, illuminating the center of the chaos, Yağmur Yüksel. For what felt like an eternity, her name had hovered over gossip columns and fan forums like a persistent question mark, always linked to one burning query: what is truly transpiring in the private world of Barış Baktas? The whispers had escalated from the innocent murmurings of a budding romance to rumors as bold and earth-shattering as a secret marriage. And yet, through this entire maelstrom, Yagmmer had remained a statue of poise. No denial, no confession. Just that careful, curated silence that only served to make her more irresistible to curious eyes. She was a master of the non-answer, a queen of the enigmatic smile. However, the questions were faster. The terminal, a vast space that usually swallows celebrities with barely a ripple, transformed into an impromptu stage. A voice, sharp and daring, broke through the ambient noise of rolling suitcases and automated boarding calls. The question hung in the air, blunt and impossible to ignore. Yagmmer Hanım, is it true you married Barış Baktas? It wasn't subtle. It wasn't polite. It was a direct hit, the first salvo in a month filled with side glances and coded social media captions. Everyone expected her to do what she has done 100 times before: glide past, pretend the question was merely background noise, and vanish through security. But not today. Today the script changed. Yagmmer stopped. It was a single, careful, almost theatrical pause that sent a shockwave through the gathered crowd. She lifted her chin slightly, a gesture of quiet defiance, like an actress stepping into the spotlight to deliver a line she had rehearsed in the privacy of her mirror. That small, enigmatic smile rose, the one that has launched a million comment threads and fueled countless theories, and she let out a breath that seemed to lower the temperature of the terminal by several degrees. The cameras, sensing blood in the water, jumped closer. The mood in the terminal twisted instantly from confusion to a palpable, almost delirious exhilaration. The follow-up questions came like a rush of wind, a torrent of curiosity that could no longer be contained. Are you and Barış in a good place? Have the families finally been introduced? Are you traveling together right now, trying not to be seen as a couple? Do you plan to make anything official soon? She listened to the barrage, amused and almost protective of herself, like someone standing just inside the threshold of a doorway, deciding whether to invite the world inside. I know everyone is curious, she replied, that smile refusing to give away a single secret, a shield against the onslaught. But sometimes it's better to let life move at its own pace. Right now my heart is calm. The rest, you'll see soon. That was it. That was enough. It was more than enough. The sentence spread across the hall like an expensive perfume, lingering long after she had turned. She walked through security, handed over her passport with a steady hand, and didn't glance back once. And as the footage exploded across platforms, another crucial detail resurfaced from the depths of the week's news cycle. The line Boris Bakhtas himself had offered just a few days prior, when cornered after a rehearsal. "I don't prefer to talk about my private life," he had said, cool, kind, and unwavering, "but I'm happy." That single sentence now pulled like a powerful magnet on everything Yagmmer gave the world today. His calm confidence and her choice of words, taken together, side by side, made the flood of rumors impossible to dam. Let's pause right here, whatever you need, family, and take a breath. This is a masterclass in public relations, a delicate dance between revealing and concealing. We are witnessing two people who are perfectly aligned in their approach to fame and privacy. But what do you think? Is this calculated ambiguity a sign of a secret marriage they are protecting, or is it simply a couple carving out space for their relationship to breathe? I want to know your theories. Drop them in the comments below. Let's analyze this together. And if this story is gripping you as much as it is us, please hit the like button to help spread this fascinating narrative. Comment after comment claimed that the jig was up, that there was no longer anything left to hide, only a slow, deliberate reveal paced entirely on their own terms. Others were convinced that her trip abroad wasn't just business or a quick break to recharge, but tied to a deeply personal step in their relationship that she hoped to keep sacred a little longer. The theory that made hearts race the most: that they were headed to the exact same destination, but on different flights, a calculated move to dodge a joint photo that would blow the doors open on their secret. It sounded like a fanfiction fantasy until a particularly eagle-eyed fan posted a blurry image of an airport departure board, showing two flights to the same city with departure times eerily close together. There was no concrete proof of anything, of course. Just the delicious, intoxicating possibility. By midday, what began as a routine travel day for a celebrity had become the week's biggest talking point. The internet split into teams and theories, each passionate in their interpretation. Is there a quiet marriage we all missed, celebrated in secret away from prying eyes? Are they carefully building up to a major announcement, waiting for the perfect, curated moment to set it free? Or is this simply a couple fiercely protecting the peace of normal life they still control in the face of overwhelming public interest? The absolute truth remained delicately out of reach, a mirage on the horizon, but one thing came into sharp, undeniable focus: the way Yagmmer chooses silence as a form of powerful storytelling, and the way Boris supports the choice without adding any unnecessary noise. As the hours rolled on, the fan edits got sharper and more detailed. Creators looped the split second where her lips parted before she spoke, swore that the small dimple on her cheek appeared in a different way than it does on a normal day, and claimed you could read a deep-seated contentment in the way she shifted her weight from one foot to the other. Some pointed out the jewelry she was wearing. Was that ring on her finger new? Was it a piece she always wears, or a fresh addition with a story no one was meant to notice just yet? Others analyzed the color she chose for her travel outfit, wondering if it matched something he was seen wearing last week. Even the angle of her bag strap became a piece of evidence, as if all the answers to the universe were hiding in plain sight. Messages from both fan bases chimed in, a chorus of support and speculation. "She looks so at peace," one user wrote, a line that echoed beneath countless reposts of the video. "There's a glow you can't fake," another claimed. Skeptics, of course, stayed firm in their cynicism. "This is strategy," they said. "They are mastering the art of suspense to keep their names in the headlines." But even that critique sounded like a form of grudging admiration. Because it is a delicate choreography, this balancing act between private truth and public hunger, and they danced it beautifully today. At the terminal, the final thing you notice in the full, unedited video is how, after her last sentence to the press, Yagmmer lifts her hand in a tiny wave to the crowd, an appreciative gesture, polite, firm, and final. She walks toward the barrier, hands over her phone with the boarding pass pulled up on the screen, and disappears past the glass wall into the world of gates and numbers where cameras cannot follow. The clip ends there, but the conversation does not. It moved onward, searching for more breadcrumbs. People dug up old interviews where she talked about the value of patience, about loving slow, about the importance of choosing the right timing for everything in life. They paired them with clips of Bari's discussing focus, respect, and the necessity of keeping something sacred for yourself in this industry. Together, those fragments of the past painted a picture that made today's moment feel inevitable. You could almost feel both of them steering the narrative without ever wrestling it directly. No dramatic statements. No stunts. Just a consistent, unwavering refusal to let a rumor define them before they choose their own chapter heading. And here we are tonight, watching the cycle turn once again. Fans are convinced we are at the edge of a massive reveal. Maybe not a full confession with all the details, not yet, but something. A photo that says more than a caption ever could. A shared appearance that doesn't need explanation. Or perhaps a simple acknowledgement that lets the world exhale. The question swims under every comment: was this morning the first real step toward letting everyone in? We can't tell you for certain. Not yet. But we can tell you that the energy around them feels different now. It isn't the frantic guessing of early rumors. It's warmer, calmer, laced with a different kind of anticipation. When a couple protects their center and still offers this kind of spark, the audience tends to lean in out of affection, not just curiosity. That's what we saw today, a fandom willing to wait as long as the story is honest when it finally unfolds. So what sits on the table? A secret marriage quietly shared with a circle so small that even the loudest microphones can't reach it. A planned reveal, timed with a project, a milestone, a date that matters to them. Or the simplest truth of all. To people nurturing something real away from the glare, promising to step forward only when it feels true. There is suspense here, yes, but there is also tenderness. And that is why this moment broke the internet without even trying. One thing is certain, the sentence Yagmmer gifted the cameras this morning belongs to this week. It grabbed the timeline and turned it on its axis. The clip will be replayed, remixed, quoted under photos of candlelit dinners and anonymous airport lounges, set to music and slowed down until every frame breathes with meaning. Whether it leads to a vow, an announcement, or simply a continued commitment to privacy, it will be remembered as the day the silence changed shape. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the heart of the story here on Whatever You Need. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please share this video and help us grow our community. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit join to support the kind of storytelling that respects the subjects it covers. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your hearts ready for the truth.